flip it, let's identify other things we can see on this side. Now, we actually have something that is almost this far anterior, but not quite. You know, one of the handouts has it, where many of the things that you can see here are visible, and also there's things that repeat from the previous slice as well. So here's something that repeats from the previous slice. What is that? And then what's just lateral to it?
Olfactory gyrus.
Well, in effect, functionally, yeah, the gyrus rectus, which is olfactory in function. Yeah, and the olfactory sulcus, and then what are these over here? Yeah, so those repeat in lots of slices. Now, what is this indentation here and here? The indentation, the space, not a structure.
Longitudinal.
Yeah, the longitudinal fissure. Okay, now look at this. This stuff was quiz legal on a particular screen. This is the one that was quiz legal was a bit posterior to this, so you couldn't see the poles of the anterior horns. It was a little further back, but this stuff was still all there. So now the question happens to be, what? Now don't answer right away, though. I want to show it to everybody before an answer is presented. What's that? What's that? And what is that? Okay, so the question is, in this order, what is this? What is this? And what is this? In this order, wait 1 second. What is this? What is this? And what is that? Okay, so what are they?
Corpus callosum, splenum, body, genu.
No.
Isn't that the septum callosum?
Forceps minor and major.
Forceps minor.
Septum pellucidum.
Septum pellucidum.
The body of the corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum. Isn't that what I meant to say?
The forceps minor. And the rostrum. That's correct.
Damn it.
The rostrum.
Different slice, yeah.
Okay. Now, why couldn't it be the genu, body, and splenium of the corpus callosum?
It's not a...
This is a coronal slice. To be able to see the genu, the body, and the splenium of the corpus callosum, you'd have to have a horizontal slice in which you can see from A to P, because that's an A to P sequence. This is a superior to inferior sequence. So the other one is excluded by the nature of the slice. Yeah. So this is that. Well.
all over the place.
Oh, was I?
That happens.
Yeah. So here, there's this right over here. Now, which side of the slice is this over here?
Inferior.
Yeah. What's that? Okay. So what's this once again? The body of the corpus callosum.
Forceps minor.
Yeah. So here, the forceps minor was cut across that way. So you see the solid mass of white inside the forceps minor. Okay, it was cut across that way. In a sagittal, it's cut that way, so then you can see the bend in the genu. Okay, but in a coronal, either you see it's too far anterior, or you see within the genu, you know, the forceps minor, or it's too far posterior, you just see the body and the rostrum. Or if you get far enough back, you don't see any rostrum, you just see body. So this is that one level where you can actually see
What was the most inferior one? Okay, got it.
the most superior, the body of the corpus callosum. In the middle, the area of the forceps minor. And then the rostrum.
Okay.
So that's it. Okay. Now, then we have this. I asked this on the quiz. What is, I don't want to shove the probe into it, so I'm just going to say it. What is a space right over here, just above that?
Cingulate sulcus.
Well, this is inferior to that.
Colossal sulcus?
Yes, the callosal sulcus. Then what is directly superior to that over here?
Cingulate gyrus.
The cingulate gyrus. What is this indentation here?
Cingulate sulcus.
That's the cingulate sulcus. And what is this over here? The medial frontal gyrus, which is in effect the medial surface of the superior frontal gyrus, but it's called the medial frontal gyrus. So there's that lineup. So the probability is 1.0 that I will ask that sequence on the midterm.
I'm bad with math. I can't.
I'm just gonna ask the whole sequence. You know, I'm gonna ask all of these,
That's what I was thinking.
and I'm going to ask this sequence, and I'm definitely gonna ask that, and these. You know, so and then on whatever slice shows them well, the previous one is a little better. I will ask the superior frontal gyrus, as well, and the superior frontal sulcus, and if I have a good representation of the the inferior frontal gyrus, I'll ask that also. And somewhere, you can see it all over the place, I'm going to ask centrum semiovale. So all of those things will turn up.
And
So
when is this going down again? Is it
Next
Thursday
next
next week.
Thursday?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so then on the flip side, we will see what's directly anterior to this. Let's see if any of these can use a donation. This one can use a donation. That needs some more fluid. So we'll just put this on. And
I need a white jacket.
maybe I'll just do it this way first of all.
Raincoat.
Oops.
Sharing is caring.
And then I will flip this.
STDs.
See that? We're gonna have to take the lid off this one, right?
What
So
we do
there,
to each other
now
is
we're
unbelievable.
anterior to the anterior horns. You just see centrum semiovale. And then here, on the flip
you flipped
side,
it
now
over,
we see
okay.
the anterior horns, and we see the poles of the anterior horns, and also those of the anterior poles of the whole ventricle.
I'm gonna stop it in a
Okay, so
second.
the fact that we can see those poles says we're looking from posterior toward anterior.
If it's
This is
easy
what
for
you
I'll
see when
just
you're looking from
stop it.
anterior toward posterior in this area.
So that might be a question, whichever way you hold it out. You say, how are we looking?
Yeah, now this one, I don't want to show this side first because I want you to infer what's on the other side, so I'm going to ask the question from this side, on this particular
Okay.
slice. Okay. So now we will.
So you might say, how am I viewing this slice? And we're going to say from posterior to anterior.
That's right.
Okay.
Then I could ask, how do you know for part B?
And that's because we're starting with the lateral ventricles.
Well, because you
Being
can-
seen,
you can
the back wall of the lateral ventricle.
Well, that's front wall.
Oh, front wall,
Yeah.
okay. Because this is the posterior side,
Yeah.
so that's the anterior wall.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Kabish.
the pole of the. You see that anterior wall is the inside surface of the pole of the anterior horn.
Right.
And it's also the anterior pole of the whole ventricle. And then I'm going to ask some of those questions on the ventricular endocast as well. I'm going to ask parts of the ventricles on the ventricular endocast.
On that model.
Yeah. Well, it's a clone of an actual cast.
Right.
That's what it is. It's really not a model, but it's a clone of an actual cast. Because the supply house kept the actual cast from which they made the mold.
No,
Okay.
you do not.